Hey everyone, my name is Christoph Jakob. I'm a music composer for video games.
After a whole 9 years, a new entry to the Mario Luigi series has been released. Something that a lot of people, including myself, never really expected to see. Mario Luigi Brothership. While I've just started streaming this here on this channel, there already is one tune that really caught my attention. The normal battle theme. Unlike all the previous 5 installments in the series, the music has not actually been composed by Yoko Shimomura for once. Instead, most of the music seems to have been written by Hideki Sakamoto, a composer who I personally wasn't even familiar with. Does the music hold up with Shimomura's tunes? Let's check out the battle theme. Bouncy and quirky, as it should be. Interesting instrumentation. So far there's no real melody though. At least nothing that's super in your face. Let's get the obvious thing out of the way first. The audio quality, so the production value of the music itself, has probably never been that good before. Listening to this tune with headphones on is a joy. It sounds rich, it sounds full. Out of all the normal battle themes in the entire series, the short intro, so the first couple of seconds, is honestly my favorite in the entire franchise already. Though I do absolutely adore the intro to Try Again from Dream Team as well. Stylistically, the battle theme in Brothership is actually quite different than it was in all the previous entries. Both regarding the composition itself, but also the instrumentation. Mario and Luigi music has never sounded this much like jazz and big band. Now, whether you like that more or less is honestly just personal preference. There is something in the music that gives it that typical Mario and Luigi charm though. And in this section I'd say it is the accordion, which almost exclusively appears on upbeats. The focus on upbeats generally tends to make music feel bouncy and quirky. Harmonically speaking, this tune is actually quite odd. So odd actually that I'm not even 100% sure if I figured it out. The chord progression makes no real sense to me, but it goes something like this. Oh, and there's an actual acoustic guitar in this tune for once. There's one little compositional technique that appears here which I'd like to mention, and that is the so-called pedal note or pedal tone. In the context of our tune, it basically means that while the chords are technically changing, the bass is just staying on the same note. You can actually hear that at the very beginning of the section. I love the intensity that this tune is conveying. Furthermore, the accordion and its harmony tell us that this tune is in E. It's not in E major, but technically it's also not truly in E minor. It sounds more like E Dorian. I've talked about this scale in so many of my videos before, but in short, E Dorian is an E minor scale that is using a 6 instead of the flat 6, which is native to the minor scale. Regarding the general mood, Dorian is somewhere in between major and minor. Video game composers love using it. Me too, actually. At least nothing that's super in your face. There we have it though. It feels simplistic. This section introduces an actual main melody for the first time. And it's a super simplistic one too. You gotta keep in mind that simplicity in music is not necessarily a bad thing. Likewise, just because a chord progression or entire tune is complex or complicated, it's by no means better in any way. Simplicity actually often just makes a tune a little more catchy. The pedal tone that I was just talking about reappears here as well. The chords are actually mostly the same as in the previous section. Speaking of simplicity, the drums and percussion, while fast, are super straightforward and simple as well. And they are actually quite far back in the mix. They serve as a solid foundation, but due to the fact that they are not really in your face, your focus automatically tends to shift towards other instruments. At least that's how it's like for me.
How dare you present your own experience and opinion like it is a fact? I'm going to cancel you on Twitter.
That website, to be honest. It feels simplistic. Oh, rhythm change. Interesting. And the tune already loops, but that's not unusual for a Mario Luigi normal battle theme. In the final section, the brass instruments, no, actual serious, legit brass instruments. So the trumpets and trombones almost imitate a little what the accordion had been doing earlier. However, the rhythmic approach is different. Instead of focusing solely on upbeats, we have a Tresillo rhythm here. That is just a fancy way of describing rhythms that have a 3 feel to them. The time signature is still a regular 4/4 pulse, of course, but there's emphasis on 3 specific notes, usually the 1, the 2 and the 4, like I just demonstrated. Harmonically speaking, nothing out of the ordinary happens here. Most of the time, we're moving back and forth between E minor and A major. I love how the composer decided to loop this tune though. We're getting to hear the flat 6 chord, so C major in our case, and the flat 7 chord, so D major in our case, before moving back to the 1, so E minor or E Dorian. This is one of the most common movements you could possibly Juice. Now I'm thirsty. This is one of the most common movements you could possibly choose if you want something to briefly sound heroic, epic, or emotional. And the tune already loops, but that's not unusual for a Mario Luigi normal battle theme. Excluding Try Again, of course, from Dream Team. That's almost 2 minutes long, I think. But yeah, initially I wasn't the biggest fan of this battle theme, to be honest, but it has grown on me a lot already. Yeah, nice. Thanks for watching. Like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Follow me on Blue Sky, that's where all the cool people are these days. And check out some of my own Mario and Luigi inspired music. Links to that in the description as always and in the end card. Thank you so much and I'll see you all next time.